How's it going, everybody? We have my friend Bryan over here today. We're gonna have a conversation to ask him how he got started into cars and to see where he is now. Stick around, get some popcorn, because this is about to get interesting. So let's start off, what got you into cars?
Man, I don't know. Like my whole family was not into cars whatsoever. It was probably my neighbor. I lived out in Fayetteville, probably early 2000s, and my neighbor across the street was so into cars, like Hot Wheels, and do you remember those like Jada toy things?
Yeah.
Like the 124 scale model cars and stuff. He had a ton of those. So he kind of just got me into it. So
And then
kind
it
of picked
just,
it up there. I mean, I had Hot Wheels growing up, but I can't say I was a collector. I didn't know what I was getting. I was just like, well, I've got one of those like car mat things, like the city town and the streets and stuff.
I used to have one of those.
Yeah. So I had one of those. It was massive. It covered my entire room. So
Damn, your shit was big.
yeah.
Holy crap, that's pretty cool, dude. So what do you do for a living to afford everything you do to the cars and this hobby that we all love?
All right. So I'm legit a photographer.
Certified, put a stamp on it.
Yeah. It's my actual title. I do photos for a dealership in Northlake, which is Charlotte area, Huntersville area. I've been doing that for almost 6 years now, but I've been in the business for, 13, 14 years doing photography. But I've been doing automotive photography for like the last 15 years. I started back when streetwise drift was a thing.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, that was like 2008, 2009.
Holy crap.
I was still in high school.
Bro, I wasn't even into cars back then.
Yeah, so I'd be going to all the like the Metrolina drifting events that they would host. They had like hot import nights back in the day. Like that doesn't even exist anymore. So I was doing that, but I wasn't taking it to the level that I probably could have. So I regret not starting earlier and charging and building my brand earlier. Now I just kind of do it.
Gotcha. So for everybody that don't know, talking to Bryan is how I got started in getting cameras and all this gear and stuff, and he pointed me in the right direction so I could be here. So thank you.
So he's got a bunch of expensive hobbies.
Yes. I'm sure Alex is not happy about that.
Nah.
So what are the biggest sacrifices you have made to achieve this goal?
God. Honestly, not that much, to be completely honest. Aside from like health issues within my family, like my dad has some like really severe health issues right now. So taking a seat and helping him out and not being able to go to the track or not be able to go to certain shows in different states and stuff, like that's been a huge, it's not like a letdown, but it's disappointing that I can't make it to that type of stuff. But as far as like any setbacks or anything, I really haven't had any. It's just it's a mindset. You gotta plan and figure out where you are, and if you can afford to do this and afford to do that, or set some money aside or wait. It's all just a planning thing,
Yeah. If you don't have a plan, you're just gonna run around with like
I can't wing
a
it.
chicken with a chicken with a head
I can't
cut
wing
off.
it. It's not gonna go well.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. But I mean, at least family comes first. Obviously, the car stuff is always gonna be there, so you gotta make sure your pops is good.
Yeah. You gotta make sure your health is good.
Yeah.
If your health isn't good, nothing else is gonna be great for you. So.
Right. Like you can't help somebody else if you're like fucked up in a way.
Right. Like. I think my back hurts now because of the stuff I'm doing now. I didn't plan ahead and be like, hey, I got a bucket seat. Probably not a good idea. I got pulled over recently.
Did you really?
Yeah, I got pulled over on the way to my chiropractor appointment. And the cop probably could have got me for reckless speeding, following too close, but he gave me a warning. But he's like, hey man, why are you driving the race car today? I'm like, My dad's got the truck. I couldn't drive it. He's out of town for the day. I'm stuck with that thing. He's like, that's probably why your back's messed up. You got a fixed bucket seat. It's probably not great. I'm like, dude, I know, but
there's not much I can do about it.
I was stupid and sold all my stock seats. So.
Oh no, that's the worst. But at least it's like you drive it locally though, so
yeah. So I mean, if anything happens,
it's just
it is what it is.
You got to take it. You got to take it.
Yeah.
So, what does your family and friends think about this hobby that you do? Like, being in the car industry.
Right, so, as far as like a business standpoint, your family's always going to be there for you. They're going to be supportive. As far as how I mod the car,
like the
not
hobby?
supportive whatsoever. Before I had the Civic, I've had 14 other cars in my lifetime. So most of them have been Hondas or Subarus, and some of the worst cars I had were like a 90s Civic sedan. I had two of those. My mom called them a clown car. But
why? Because they were
they're so small, and
Oh.
I slammed them on the ground, and I just did stupid dumb shit to it. But my mom is she needs the seal of approval anytime I get a car.
Really?
Yeah.
She like, bring it by. I want to check it out.
Yeah, because she's the only person I trust to drive my cars. She can drive stick. She had a Beetle growing up, like a Herbie growing up,
That's
and it was
pretty cool.
manual. So she knew how to drive it. So any new car that I get that happens to be a manual, she gets first dibs.
That's pretty neat. That's cool.
And it's always cool because I'll be sitting on the porch, and I'm like, okay, I trust you. Goes driving down, comes back. I'm like, yes, she made it back.
And then she's like, okay, this is a good one.
Yeah, I don't trust anybody else in my family to drive that car. So
That's pretty neat, man. That's a cool story.
But as far as like modification stuff, I think they trust me to make good decisions.
Yeah.
What's good for me is not necessarily good for someone else.
Right.
But I think I make smart decisions.
Yeah. I like the way you mod your car, personally. It's one of my favorite Hondas.
I've learned.
So.
I've had many cars to learn.
Talking about your car, so let's talk about like, what do we have here? Like, what kind of car you drive?
Okay, well, it's a 2012 Honda Civic Si. It's a sedan. I'm a big dude, so sedan. You gotta buy a sedan.
I I like the coupes.
Yeah,
I don't know.
but you drove my car, and you're like,
I did. I was like,
gotta
this is
have
like
one.
the best thing ever. I was like, I've never driven a Honda until I've driven your car, and it was like, it changed my views on Hondas.
So it's actually my first Si ever. I've always wanted one. I wanted an 8th gen. This is a 9th gen. There's subtle differences, like the motor is slightly different. It's a 2.4 instead of a K20. This isn't the most ideal K setup. It's got no header, so it doesn't make any power, but it makes a lot of low end torque. It's great for boost because the header is built into the head.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when
That's pretty
when people mount the turbo in the back, it's just essentially a downpipe from the block down.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, but I won't be boosting anytime. I'm poor, so.
Sure. Aren't we all?
So the car is set up for track, mountain driving, and daily driving.
That's pretty neat.
Trying to keep it reliable. It has no engine work whatsoever.
So that's always the hard part when you're building a car that you want to go to the track. Like, do you open up the motor? Do you start throwing shit at the motor and keep it reliable where you could just?
It was crazy.
And you even have AC.
Yeah, I'm never getting rid of AC. I'm keeping
So-
AC. I'm keeping power steering. Everything else can go, but
Yeah.
I got to keep those because nothing's worse than sitting in the paddock or you're sitting on pit lane or whatever.
And it's like 100 degrees
Yeah,
outside.
it's 100 degrees. It's like 120 on the track, and you're sitting there with no AC. Nah, it's not for me.
Yeah, hell no. We too big for that shit.
So-
Hell no.
But anyway, yeah, the car's set up for track and mountain driving. Like I said, engine is untouched at the moment. It's just got a catback as far as performance goes. And then it's full suspension, full brakes, tires. It's got a half cage, a bucket. It's got a gutted rear from the B-pillar back, no trunk stuff. A few aero bits. And then
Pretty much a street race car.
Yeah, pretty much.
All you could do was search for engine work.
Yeah. I'll
That's
do some
pretty-
engine work eventually, but like,
Well, I mean, you did it smart. You know, first you learning the chassis,
yeah,
and then you adding power to it. Versus other people like,
people go straight for
they
power.
go, yeah,
and
they'd be like,
they can't drive
put
the
600
car.
horsepower on
Yeah.
a Z, and then just, you know, can't
Yeah,
take
yeah.
it around a turn.
Yeah,
like,
Who does that?
so what was your first modification to your car?
To the Civic,
To the Civic.
H&R Springs.
Just lowering springs.
Yeah.
Did
Worst,
you
worst decision ever.
You didn't replace the shocks to like
So I bought the car in February of 2021, and it had like 112K on it. So the suspension was, it was old. It was just old. And I threw the H&R Springs on there, and I took it to my first track day. It blew the suspension out immediately.
were you leaning to one side? Or was
It wasn't
was
even
it leaking?
that. It was leaking.
Oh,
like it was
shit.
all the oil from the struts.
So the
was
struts were
just-
coming out?
Yeah.
The car was bouncy as
Completely
shit on the way
blown.
home, I bet you.
It wasn't bouncy. It was just like really.
Oh, like it's stiff. It kind of
Yeah.
locked them up, so it
Yeah.
was just like,
Yeah, it was horrible.
damn, that had to suck.
Yeah.
So,
So if you buy a car, it's your first car in a while, or it's your first modification, don't buy springs.
yeah.
Unless the car.
And if you're buying springs, make sure you change the shocks with it.
Yeah. Unless the car is like newish, springs might be okay, but your stock suspension is never valved for lowering springs.
Yeah.
You're gonna blow that thing out.
So what are some pros and some cons of owning the Civic?
I'm gonna start with the cons. The cons are the stigma.
Of
The
being a
Civic,
Honda?
the Honda Civic stigma. No one takes you seriously ever. Another con is I wish the motor was a little bit more
Happier?
accessible with like mods and stuff.
Oh, okay. They don't have like a big variety of like aftermarket support for it?
They do, but it's not like the 8th gen.
Oh, really?
Like the 8th gen, and then they skipped my generation. It was like, okay, let's make stuff for the 8th gen and for the 10th gen.
Well, that's freaking stupid.
Yeah. So this is like the adult version of the 8th gen.
Okay.
Another con is I don't have the stocks seats anymore. That's definitely a con. I wish I had. I could.
And I know you're always complaining about the paint. I feel like Honda could have done a better job with their clear coat.
Oh, dude, the paint is garbage. So, and it doesn't matter if it's Honda paint, Subaru paint is horrible
Nissan,
too.
because my
Nissan,
clear coat
yeah.
sucks.
So these actually had a recall for paint.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't
it was
even know
only
they did a thing for like freaking for paint.
Yeah, it was like an extended recall or extended warranty on paint.
Interesting.
What happens is like the base inside the paint spider cracks and has crow's feet, and so it's not something you can fix on top with a clear. You have to like break everything down, repaint it.
So you got to get everything off the car and respray
Yeah.
it. Damn, that's
So
a freaking process.
so my hood was like that, and it started down towards the grill, and it kind of worked its
Just
way
worked
up.
yeah, because when you took it off, by that time I was already like.
Yeah, it
needed
was
it.
jacked because
Yeah.
I was gonna put some vents in it from like track spec and just repaint the hood, but I found a really good deal on a carbon one down in Columbia, and the dude gave me a really good deal on it. I'm starting to get some cloudiness on the C-pillar stuff or the back window pillar, the quarter panel and stuff.
This winter you need to bring it by. I got all the shit so we could. I brought back my paint, and you remember how hazy my shit was.
Yeah. At this point, I'll just cover it up with.
A bunch of stickers.
No one has to see it. It takes everybody's eye away from how.
So what are some
Crappy
pros
ones.
now that you mentioned a few of the
Pros,
cons?
it's reliable. It is so reliable. I beat the crap out of this thing
Yeah, he
every time
does.
I drive it.
This dude is at the track like at least twice a month and almost dailies it, and then goes to the mountains on top of that.
Yeah, so like I have a truck now, but I don't have a trailer. So if I'm going to a track day, I'm
drive it there,
literally
then drive back
driving my car, and I will drive 6 hours. I won't go
To go to VIR, it's pretty.
Well,
pretty
VIR
far.
is like 2.5 for me, but
Is it really? Oh well, because you
Road
you
Atlanta's
moved
4.5. I think six is the limit. Like I want to go to Barber next year, and that's
Where's
in
that at?
Alabama,
Oh, damn.
I think. Barber. It's down there somewhere.
Gotcha.
So I want to go to that, but that's 5.5 hours. That's cap.
I mean, it's under your 6-hour drive. So.
Another pros is how many parts are accessible for it. I say like the engine is meh, but everything else
Like body panels,
yeah,
brakes,
I mean,
brake
a lot of
upgrades.
stuff for the 8th gen fits on this car. Like my half cage is made for the 8th gen.
Really?
The new wing.
I would have never guessed.
Yeah, the new wing that I got is for the 8th gen.
I definitely got to take a look at that because it looked dope in the photos.
I love it, man. It's so awesome.
I love the gooseneck.
Other than that, I mean, like,
And the bitch is good as hell on gas.
it's not. It's really,
Really?
not. No.
No?
It gets horrible gas mileage.
What the hell? Come on, Honda, get it together. You had one job.
Yeah.
So what keeps you inspired to be in the car culture still?
I have no idea, man. It's taking a turn for the worst.
It sure has. Everything going on around.
It's just different, man. It's like, you know, we started 10 plus years ago. Like, I don't know. Were you around when CCI was around?
Yeah.
Like,
what, like 2013-ish? That's when I
yeah,
moved down here
2011 and stuff.
I moved down here 2013 from New York, so it was still around. I used to go to it.
Okay.
I went to like 2 or 3 before
Yeah, but
it
then
got
we
shut
also
down.
had like the UNC meets,
Yeah.
and then we had.
I went to that one more than the,
Okay.
yeah.
So we had all that stuff. It's just different. I think. I don't know. It's just different. It's just different. I wish it was kind of like.
How it was back then
Yeah.
with the newer cars now.
Yeah.
I think kids now just want to do
They want to do the easy
10
stuff.
10 seconds of fame or whatever,
Yeah.
you know, and
The
then
clout-
they,
clout
yeah,
chasers.
Yeah, they don't think about the consequences of being stupid, you know.
I mean, we were like that, but I don't know, man. I'm just you grow
But
up.
I think we were, but at the same time we have respect for you know.
You
other
grow, you
people.
grow up eventually,
Yeah.
or at least we hope so.
Yeah, you try to. If you make it that far, hopefully, you know, nobody has a fatal accident. Is this gonna be your forever car, or you think if somebody offer you the right price, you'll sell it?
I don't think it's about selling. I think it's about crashing.
What do you mean?
All right, so when you go to the track, you can take out like a track day insurance policy. Now,
Honestly, I thought you'd never got insurance for the track. This is news to me.
So
I had no idea.
It depends. It depends. If it's like a new track that I go to, I'm definitely getting insurance. Or if it's something that I've been to before, but I have a new setup and I keep pushing myself to like get that new best time, I'm getting insurance.
I bet. Better.
So, for instance, I'm going to Atlanta next Sunday. The track is there's no margin for error there. It's just walls.
Especially that back turn 12, is it right?
It's not
Or
Road
16.
Atlanta. It's AMP.
Oh, okay.
But still, it's no margin for error. It's walls on each side. It's a lot of places to mess up. So I paid for like the top tier insurance, like DE insurance for that car because I plan on pushing it because the last time I was there, it rained. I didn't get like great driving time. So
Yeah.
it's going to be dry this time. I'm going to push the car. So I was like, if I come back with a car, awesome. If I come back with a check, awesome.
If I come back, it's just awesome.
So, I mean, I would like it to be my forever car right now. I've been pretty good about not buying new project cars. I've been pretty good.
Yeah,
Usually I get a new car every 2 years, but like
that is true. Ever since I met him, I think you've had like 5 or 6 cars since I met you so far.
It's been a lot. But I think I got better. I think once I bought the Legacy, I kept that for 4 years.
Yeah, you did keep that for a long time.
Like all the other Subarus I had for like less than 8 months, but I had the Forester for 4 years. I had this thing for 2.5 years. So I mean, I think I'm getting to that stage where I better just
Honestly, I probably see you in the future in a GT3.
my bank account allows it. Yeah.
Or like something of that sort that is like a track purpose built car. So I see you like in a purposely built like from factory track car that you could improve to your
that
liking.
would be sick. then I wouldn't have to spend any money on it.
Yeah. So I know it's a Honda, but hold on, there's a bike going by. I know it's a Honda, and people think the Hondas are cheap, but how much something like this is worth and cost with the modifications you've done to it and the work you put into it?
No COVID prices?
No COVID prices, just like buying the car, doing everything you've done so far.
Okay, so I bought this pre-COVID, so I'm just gonna go with those. My bad. So I bought this pre-COVID for $9,500.
Okay, and that was just cash, or
yeah.
you like finance?
I financed it,
Okay.
but the payment's so cheap. I don't even think about it. So I have maybe $5,500 invested in the car as far as parts. I think I have more invested in track time than I do parts.
Really?
Yeah, because some of the parts I resold, made my money back, and just bought other stuff. So I didn't really lose a whole lot of money. But I've done, since 2021, I think I've done 10 or 12 track days.
Okay, for a lot of people like myself, I don't know like what a track weekend look like money-wise and
Depends on the track.
time.
It depends on the track.
Let's say like CMP, because that's local to us.
Okay, CMP for like a 2-day event is probably $400 for the weekend.
And then how many heats do you get like to go out and drive?
4 per day, 4 20 to 25 minute sessions per day.
That's a lot of freaking driving. 25
It's about 2
minutes?
hours. 2 hours.
Shit.
It's an hour a day.
And you've done 10 of those.
Yeah.
That's a good fucking car.
Yeah. It doesn't
That's
seem
insane.
It doesn't seem like a lot. Like an hour of track time. You're there all day and you're only getting an hour, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
A 20-minute session feels like forever in some cars.
Yeah.
Like in my car, it feels like forever because it's slow.
But think about like, okay, like what's a lap time on CMP? Like one lap?
153.
153?
153 for me.
So that means you get what, like 20?
6 to 7 laps.
Is it? No, because you get 20 minutes, right? Per session?
Yeah.
You get more than that.
Oh,
because you got to let it cool down after you do like a couple
hard
hard ones?
Yeah, but something could happen. Like you could someone could have spun out, or maybe there's an accident.
That
eats into your 20.
Yeah,
20
okay.
minutes.
That was gonna answer my question. I was gonna see if something happens that cut down your time of the drive.
Yeah. So let's just say 8 or 9 laps.
That's still pretty good.
At an average of 2 minutes. You have your out lap, which is going to take you 3 minutes or less.
That's like to go over the track. And then your
cool down lap. Yeah. So it is what it is. But I mean, CMP is on the low end. It's not a huge track. It's not a private track. Something like VIR and Road Atlanta are more expensive. Mm-hmm. I know for NASA 2-day events for both of those tracks is like $650 plus.
Really? And then what? You have to bring your shit to camp at the site, or you got to get a hotel?
You don't have to camp. They have it open. It's usually free to camp.
Oh, okay. So that's why a lot of people bring campers and stuff like that do this.
I mean, it works out.
Yeah,
you don't have to wake up super. You don't have to wake up super early, drive to the track, just to get back in your car and start doing everything. So
right,
I mean,
and then setting up your little pit area.
Yeah, it just makes sense to get there either the day before or get there super early and set everything up, and then you're just good for the weekend.
That's pretty cool. Eventually, I need to switch my wheel setup and come out there and get bigger brakes so I could see what it's like.
You're going to have fun.
I love driving, you know that. So, yeah, I push it even with these big-ass tires. So,
yeah, I don't know how you do that. You took it to the mountains and you were pushing it.
Yeah.
Not me, man.
I don't know. I guess since I drive the car every day, I know how it's going to handle in turns.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, who can say they have a 650 horsepower car and they drive it on the street all the time?
Not a lot of people.
Big turbo setup.
Yeah. So what made you go on the route of picking a Japanese car over like a European or American car?
That's all I've had. It's Japanese cars.
Really?
Yeah.
So you never see yourself in like a different platform? No?
I don't know. So if I crash this car next week, I was kind of thinking like an E36.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, if I could find one. All the
They're
cars
so pricey, bro. The other prices gone up on all these damn cars.
I know.
Before you used to get like a decent one for like $5,000. Now a clapped out one is $10,000.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really see myself getting another Honda, but that could change if I can't find anything else.
Get a Z.
No, I don't want a Z. Damn. I don't want that stereotype too. I went from a Civic to a Z. Nah.
Yeah, that's definitely stereotype.
So I don't know, man.
I mean, there's just so many good cars now. It's just hard to pick from.
Yeah.
So, do you remember the first car that you said, "Wow, I'd like to have one of those"? Like back in the day before you got so deep into cars.
Like wow, then I bought it, or wow.
Like just kind of like pushed you into the car. You say your neighbor pretty much, and then all the Hot Wheels stuff. But then when you started like noticing cars, I guess like how you notice, girls and shit, you were like, damn, I want a car like that one day or something. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. That's a lot of the cars that I wanted were unobtainable. So I just kind of picked something that was relatively cheap and easy to modify, and then I just kind of learned into that chassis or whatnot. So I don't know. It wasn't like one particular car that got me into it. It was just, hey, I like it. Let's.
For me, it was completely different. I saw a 300ZX at the mall. And I was with my mom. I went and looked at the back of it, wrote the name down, and went home and just started like Googling pictures, looking for
300ZX.
Yeah, that was my first car.
You have no. I'm just kidding.
What a friend.
I do. I remember that 300.
What a friend. But yeah, that was. I told him, I was like, I need to have one of these, and then I looked up how much they were going for on Craigslist, and I went and bought one. Wasn't a good one, but I bought one. So, what's your dream car?
I've got like a bunch.
Well, give me like
all right,
your top three. Top three.
Let's do top 7.
What the fuck? We got 7 top cars.
Yeah, you gotta have one every day of the week.
Okay, top 7, go.
All right, 22B STI.
Okay, I dig that one.
Audi RS6 Avant wagon.
The new one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this shit's a badass.
I'm gonna have a lot of Porsches. I'm gonna let you know. GT2 RS, GT3 RS, yes. GT4 RS.
Agree with all of them.
Mercedes 6x6.
Yes.
Just zombie apocalypse.
Just run motherfuckers over.
Right, I got one more. Shit, I don't know. That thing.
The Civic. Okay. Those are some good options, though. The 6x6 will be sick, though.
Right. You
imagine
mob over anything.
Pull up to the grocery store, be like, oh, there's no space? Okay, I'll make some space.
Did you ever see the Top Gear episode where I think they're in like Dubai or something, and he smashes through a wall?
With the 6x6?
Yeah.
And he said it was like a tank. So you were saying in Dubai?
Oh yeah. So he I don't know if it was a 6x6 or if it was like the Marauder 6x6.
It was like a Hummer looking thing. I know the episode you're talking about. He just drove straight through a wall. He was like, damn, this thing is like a freaking tank.
Yeah, he drove through a
he
wall.
Was like, is this legal to really drive on the road?
He drove it into like a lazy river. Do you remember that?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so he's just driving the 6x6 through the lazy river, and there's people just
looking at him like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so I want one of those things, man. And then he went into the desert and was like jumping sand dunes and stuff.
Yes, I remember that episode. Damn, dude, Top Gear was the shit.
Right, still.
I used to watch.
Well, not the new one. But
not the Well, they got the Grand Touring, like the Jeremy
I've never
Clark's.
Never
really?
watched it. I have Amazon Prime. I've never watched it.
I've watched like the first couple episodes. I ain't gonna lie, I haven't been like keeping up, but it looked pretty similar to what it used to be.
Okay, well that's fair.
If you could go back in time and give yourself a piece of advice, where what you know now, what would you tell yourself?
You should have started your photography business when you were in high school. Not 10 years later. So there's kids out there that are like younger than me, like 18, 19 years old, even still in high school, that are like, have a flourishing business. And I'm just like, the hell was I thinking?
I mean, yeah, I'm with you on that one. For me, and that question, it's probably is like pick up a camera sooner, because I did so much to my 350Z. I supercharged it myself. I freaking rocket bunnied it. I molded the whole thing into the car.
Yeah.
for nothing, and I never recorded and nobody saw anything.
Yeah, I wish I got into like YouTube sooner.
Yeah.
Because now I'm just like,
I was always shy to like record
That's
myself, and so I never did it.
I don't like being in front of a camera.
But now he is. And I think you're one of the persons that get more airtime in my youth because we always together, so we always talking.
I'm actually that guy from Corey's videos. He's like, dude, I'll be out in public, I'll be at work, and I meet these people, and they're like, "Oh, you're that guy from Sanders the God video." I'm like,
yeah,
that's me.
That's so funny. So, what's your opinion of the car scene as of late?
It's hit or
you
miss,
briefly
man.
like touched it
it's
earlier.
Hit or miss. Like, I like all of us old people. I say old
we
people.
consider old now.
I mean, mid-30s. Is what it is, man. I mean, I think what we have and what we grew up with is still there. But these new kids, man, they suck.
They do.
They do. They
to me,
they grow up with the culture, so it's just,
yeah. I mean, like, so like, okay, for example, we're not gonna mention any names, but you know who I'm about to be talking about.
yeah.
So like, okay, so like, are you, like, do we get mad at him or do we get mad that people are doing the stupid shit because there's a
Both.
camera and, you know, like it's
Both. You're enticing it, and the people that you're enticing don't have any common sense. And They're just gonna do what they want to do.
So like to me, it's always been like okay with where like you know when you're leaving, do first, second, done. You did your quick little pull, people cheered. But don't fucking sit there and do a freaking burnout and spin out and go into the crowd or do like that 1350Z, hop the curb and fuck your shit up.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not even about all the people standing at the intersection. Like that's just a bad idea.
Yes, this is just something.
Like the car spotters, I hate car spotters. If you're a car spotter, I hate you.
Define what a car spotter is for those that don't know what you're talking about.
It's like a glorified photographer, but not a photographer. And they have these stupid little like Instagram pages called like something car spotters. And they have like thousands upon thousands of followers for no reason. And you're not doing anything. You're just taking photos of a car with your phone and they're dog shit photos. I just don't get it, man. It's like, for instance, the Lamborghini event, or really any event in Charlotte. Car starts revving his car. You see just a mob of people running in that direction.
Dude, you were here last month looking at the same car. Like, why?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Everybody wants to be like that one person to get that one
Clip at
And it's when it's like 30 to 50 you motherfuckers, you're all gonna have the same clip.
Yeah.
So that's why I think car spotting is fucking stupid.
And it's like the same, like they all follow each other.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's why I mainly like stopped recording like car events because so many people were doing the same thing. And then I started thinking of this idea that we're doing now where I want to talk to the people that are really into the culture and find out like the struggles and what got them into cars because it's a cool story because you see the nice cars.
Yeah.
And the work somebody puts into the car, but nobody ever gets to talk to the person behind the car, you know?
You know what's wild is? These crazy car companies that are showing up in Charlotte, we never had that. Never had a McLaren, never had a Ferrari dealership, never had a Lamborghini dealership. Charlotte never had that. They had foreign cars, that was it.
The one in Tybola?
Yeah, that's been there forever.
Oh, really? Okay.
But never had a McLaren dealership, never had a Koenigsegg dealership.
There's a Koenigsegg dealer?
Yeah, that's McLaren and Koenigsegg is the same.
Oh, that's why they have
place.
a few in there. Okay.
Right. So we see so many of these cars now. I've become numb to it. I see a car coming down.
I thought I was the only one because when I see a Lamborghini drive by, I'm like,
I'm just like,
McLaren drive by.
Cool. And then you get all these kids that are like, oh my God, it's a Senna. Let's just say a Senna. There are 3 or 4 Sennas in Charlotte. And it's just normal.
And the LaFerrari, I see like 2 or 3 like driving around. It's normal. So I'd rather see like somebody that put work into the car. I'm like, okay, yeah, that guy.
I mean, and it's all the same car. Like they all come out to the same stuff.
Yep.
So
same,
you start
same
going,
group of guys.
You start going to these shows, these events, these meets. You start seeing the same stuff, and it's just like, hey, I mean,
Yeah, like for example, today I've been freaking wanting to like get out of the car scene in Charlotte and go somewhere. I drove 2.5 hours just to go to Cars and Coffee.
yeah, you're better.
Just
than
to
me.
see something different.
You're better than me.
Dude, and it started pouring on me, bro. I was so
Yeah, I know.
nervous.
I
I was like,
I went to work this morning. It was raining.
I had no idea it was supposed to rain.
I didn't either.
I got halfway there and then it just started. I'm like, I'm too far up here now to turn around and go back home.
I mean, I think I would drive. I would drive to a different state to go. And I have.
Yeah.
I've driven to Greenville, South Carolina.
I want to go to that one pretty soon.
For their
The
Cars and
Michelin?
Coffee. Yeah,
Michelin?
called that Michelin.
That one's pretty cool. I've been to it a few times.
I haven't been to Octane and Caffeine
I've been dying to go to
in
that.
Atlanta. I've
Yes.
been down there when it's happening, but
I've been dying to go to that one, and I've been dying to go to the Jacksonville one in Florida.
Yeah,
It looks so freaking
but
dope.
it's so far away. I'm just like, I'm not driving that far.
Well, for that one, I'll probably leave like Friday, get a hotel, wake up, boom. That would be
I'm
a
gonna
good
fly
idea.
down there and get a rental car.
This motherfucker. The whole point is to take your car down there.
Oh
show it.
man, I got pictures. I just show them.
Oh
like,
my god, this
This
freaking
is
guy.
what I drive.
You too much. You too much. Do you prefer morning meets or like night meets? It goes back to, I guess, the old times and now.
I didn't really. Okay. I don't really care for night meets because a lot of the night meets are held in pitch black lots with no lighting.
Yes, they are. That is so
That is annoying. I'm a camera person. I'm a photographer. I gotta have light to shoot my photos.
Yeah.
I gotta visualize what I'm seeing in front of me. And if there's no lights, why am I there?
One, I'm blind as fuck. Two, I got like freaking 5% tin on my windshield. So when it's hard to see when you're going somewhere, I'm like, yo, what the, why? Why here?
Mornings, I'll wake up for a morning event.
I mean, you go to Cars and Coffee with us most of the time.
Yeah. During the day is really where it's at because,
If it's not 1,000 degrees, yes.
yeah. If it's 1,000, no. not for me. I'll do it, but I don't want to be there.
I've definitely been wanting to ask you this one. What's your definition of what a car build is?
Okay. That is not a car build. Okay?
Your car.
Yeah, my car is not a car build. My last car was a car build.
And for
Does
those
does that make sense?
yes, I'm gonna put a picture in the screen now so you guys can see what he used to drive to see what we're talking about. And I'm gonna put a picture of his car. And I want to hear in the comments what you guys think a car build is.
Yeah, so I mean, you could throw parts on a car and make it better or make it worse.
Mm-hmm.
I don't consider it a build. A build is something you modify. Like modify is a loose term, right?
So
I think that I don't have the skills to weld. I don't have the skills to paint something. I can't technically wrap really good. That would be a build
Right.
if I were to do all that stuff myself. Or I have no issues paying someone that is skilled in stuff that I'm not skilled for my car.
and I mean, and that only makes sense and is, you know, I think the right thing to do
Yeah.
to outsource some of the things that you can't do.
Right. So buying parts for your car is just modifying it. I wouldn't call it a build.
So you're saying what
It's
these kids say nowadays? Oh, I bought bags, 3-piece wheels,
Awesome.
and
Sweet.
I don't know, like I put tint on my car. I got a build car.
Yeah, no. Not at all. And I don't call it a build. And do I have a build sheet? Yes, because that's what people refer it to. Like
Yeah.
you see your mod list or whatever. But I don't. It's a gray area. I don't consider it a build. It's just my car that I'm modifying.
So that's what I tell people when they're like, "Oh, you got a build car," and I'm like, "Bro, it's modified.
Yeah.
I just stock." They're like, "How is it stock? And you making all this power?" I was like, "Honestly, I just threw a bolt-on turbo kit on it." So
Yeah, you're regular traffic with a bolt-on turbo.
yeah, with a fast ass regular traffic. That's all I am. But a lot of people always like have that argument of what a build is. So I'm always curious to hear what people's opinions are.
My last car was legit a build because there was stuff on that thing that
We're
you
not
can't
supposed
get.
to be, yeah.
You can't get at all. No one makes anything for that car. Well, they probably do now, but not what I had. So, yeah, I mean, everything about that was just.
And it was a cool build. I'm surprised you actually sold that thing.
I had my reasons.
Really?
I don't really miss it. I miss how cool it was, but
I miss all the cool shit you used to do, fucking off-roading and shit.
yeah, I got airborne in that car. Like
Really?
A lot. Yeah, all the time.
Oh shit.
Like on Westinghouse, before they like repaved, you go over the train tracks, just
Full blast.
look. When you're used to having low cars, and then you get a car that you lift, you don't care about nothing.
It's just
Yeah,
what bump?
yeah, pretty much.
So, what do you think the biggest disadvantage is of being a car enthusiast?
All right, so I'm gonna put takeovers in there, okay? And I kind of made this quote myself.
Okay, here we go.
So you guys know who Koenig wheels are. That's my wheel sponsor, but I've been running their wheels for a couple of years now, even on other builds. They do a podcast every Wednesday at 3 o'clock. And their last podcast was about tracks closing down and then takeovers and how takeovers are associated with car enthusiasts.
Yeah.
So we have a car culture. You know, it is what it is. These takeover kids have a culture that involves cars. It is not car culture.
I agree.
So I'm
I
pretty
agree.
sure someone else has said that, but I said it. I'm like, dang, put that on a T-shirt. That's how I look at it. Like takeovers, it's a culture. It's a horrible culture.
Yeah.
It just involves cars, and it gives us who actually involve cars with, our whole lives.
Like the ability to personalize it,
Yeah.
make it your own and just enjoy it.
Yeah, you just
And
get.
then your average Joe gets a fucking Charger and starts doing donuts. Oh yeah, no, I'm a car enthusiast. No,
Yeah,
no,
or
you're not, bro. You
average
just-
Joe gets a 350Z, a 370Z, or
Yeah.
God, you. Don't say it.
Yeah, I know. My people suck. You guys got to do better.
You don't see Hondas out there doing that because we can't.
What the fuck are they from? Unless you got an S1000 or NSX, and
All right,
I
so-
doubt that you want to see
So
one
I'm
of
not
those
going to
out
say
there.
who this is, but I was talking to this kid on Instagram, and this cop had pulled him and his buddies over for what the cop described as doing burnouts and donuts in the parking lot. And he's like, what are you talking about? I got front wheel drive Hondas. We can't do that stuff. And quote unquote, she was like, I know what a Honda Civic can do.
Okay, what is it? What can they do?
Like, stop. Just, I don't understand, man. People are goofy.
Definitely. So do you think the car community is too judgmental?
Yes, because I'm one of them.
You're one of those guys?
I think people who aren't into cars are more opinionated because they don't know what they think they know.
Yeah.
And then you got people like me who say, don't respect all builds. I hate that.
Don't get into it because
I hate
that's one of
that.
my questions
I hate
coming up.
No.
Yeah, that was literally my next question. So I did that one. I had to scroll and I'm like, wait, where is it? I had here, do you believe in the same respect
no,
on
fuck
builds?
that shit. No.
I agree. Somebody should be a check you. Like, yo, like, bro, what is that? That looks like dog shit. Like, somebody should be able to tell you that
Right.
It's constructive criticism,
Yeah.
good or bad.
And
like
then-
you just can't get the good all
And
the
then they're
fucking
going to
time.
say, well, no one asked for your opinion. I was like, you did because,
You brought your car here.
yeah.
You brought your car for me to look at. If I'm looking at it and I tell you like, I don't like that. Don't get fucking pissy.
Right.
It's not, everybody doesn't,
No, I hate that shit.
everybody doesn't like Kool-Aid, you know? Some people prefer
Bullying
fucking
needs to
tea.
come back.
Yeah. In a sense. So this is a very like big topic, a lot, you know, between a lot of car guys, and I want to hear your opinion on it. How do you feel about like car shows letting some of the cars in that are like
Like a catfish
Mid-
policy?
yeah, and then like, you know, some of the cars are supposed to be in the car show, like they don't get accepted, like
All right, so if it's like a quality show, like for instance, Week Fest.
okay, let's break it down. Okay, so you know how there's some car shows that are hosted like outside in the parking lot.
Sure.
Like
That's a meet. That's not an event.
well, you know how they be doing sometimes. They like
If you pay
yeah.
for an event,
Right.
it's a car show.
Okay.
If,
So everything paid for, you consider a car show.
yeah.
To me, like
Or a car event. It's a paid event.
Yeah.
Now,
so
if there's trophies involved, that's a car show.
it's a car show. Okay, gotcha. To me, it was more like, you know how they do, for example, Tuner Evolution inside the Coliseum.
Garbage.
You know, so like something inside like that, I consider like, yo, you want to bring like the best of the best because you don't want to pay because that shit's expensive.
I don't want to see reps. I don't want to see shitty paint.
Right.
I don't want to see half-ass builds.
If your shit got swirls in it, like, bro, don't even fucking apply. Your shit better be immaculate.
So, I have put my car into shows, but I'm not being judged. I put like that little sticker that you write down that says, I don't want to be judged. I put my car in there to show people what I've done to it. It makes my sponsors happy. Be like, hey,
But I mean, like, okay, for example, your car is a track car.
yeah, and no
so
one gives a
it's-
shit about it in a show.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, you know, there's a lot of different kind of builds, and the aspect that I mean, like, there's show cars, there's like street cars, and then there's track cars.
Here's a for instance, right? Let's not throw my car in there. It's a piece of shit. Let's say you have a legit race car in the show, okay? Not every show car is a show car, but every track car is a show car, right?
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say you have a legit race car in there. Everything is functional. It serves a purpose. There's no award. What's the word I'm looking for? There's no category for it,
Yeah.
but it gets beat out by a show car that has a roll cage in it for no fucking reason other than to, you know, have a harness and stuff.
Painted
Or-
valve covers.
yeah. It's got all this crazy shit for no reason, no function whatsoever other than to look cool.
Yeah.
And they beat out the legit car
Version
that,
of what
Yeah.
that's supposed to be.
that blows my mind.
I agree.
Or if you're gonna put your race car in a show, they should have a category for
Race cars, yeah. Or at least, like, you know, if it's a sponsorship thing, like you were talking about, you
Yeah.
know, make your sponsors happy.
Because when I go to apply for a sponsorship, the first thing they ask is, what is your schedule for the year?
Right.
I don't really put shows in there. It's mostly just track days and events that I plan on going to. But I'll throw in maybe one or two shows that I might go to. But in there, I'm like, I don't want to be judged. I just want to show the car off.
Yeah, I want to show what you guys are sponsoring me
Yeah.
for. That makes sense. I think that should be, I mean, you know, not frowned upon. But there is
There
some
needs
that
to
are
be a
people that are being, like, the cars that are being judged, this is what are we talking about, should definitely be at a higher standard than just, like, people
100%.
that just want to have their cars on the show.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're, like, on the same page now. I knew we were friends for a reason.
Wait, we're friends?
All right. I thought you just walked in from the, you know.
Oh, yeah. I just moved here.
Yeah, oh, okay. Where you from again? Where you come from?
I don't know.
So this is what I call the game round. I don't know if you've seen the last video with Chris. No? Okay. So you're going to get two choices. You're going to have 3 seconds to answer.
3 seconds.
Yeah, you just got to pick one or the other.
I bet.
You ready?
No.
No? Okay. So Toyota Supra or R34 GTR?
Both of those cars suck.
You gotta pick one.
34.
34? Okay. GT3 RS or NSX?
GT3 RS.
Really?
Yeah, but that's a hard choice.
That was a hard
I like both.
So obviously this, I know which one you're gonna go with this one, like automatic transmission or manual?
Usually manual.
Manual, okay. Carolina squat or -10 camber?
Can I take a mulligan? Dude, I don't.
That's a tough one. 3,
Negative
2,
10.
what? -10? I would have picked the same thing.
It's horrible.
So wide body or stock body?
Define wide body.
Riveted up,
Bolt on
wide body.
or molded? If it's bolt on, I'm going stock body.
When I say wide body, I mean like it's not a fender replacement. It's just something you just put there, like fender flares.
Nah, stock body.
Stock body, okay. Turbo or
Sorry,
supercharger? Turbo or supercharger?
Turbo.
Turbo? Nice. Stretch tires or meaty fitment?
Well, I'm gonna have to go with meaty.
Schmeaty? In between?
Nah, definitely meaty.
Meaty, okay. Wrap or paint?
I like wrap.
Wrap. Okay. Drag racing or drifting?
I hate both. Drifting,
Roll racing or track circuit racing?
circuit racing.
Circuit racing. I know you're definitely gonna like this one. K24 Turbo or 2JZ GTE?
K24 Turbo.
K24 Turbo, okay. This is just off the wall one that I thought of. There's two of them. The first one is, do you put the milk in first or the cereal?
I don't need cereal.
What? What kind of American are you? What is wrong with you?
So, I probably ate it when I was younger, but I was like, I don't eat breakfast, so I don't eat cereal. But
Gotcha,
definitely
okay.
cereal first.
Cereal
you know.
first. If you put your milk in first, you're a fucking
weird.
psychopath.
Yeah, you're
What is
weird.
wrong with you? So the last one is, are you an ass guy or a tatas guy?
Ass.
Ass? Yeah, my man. That's what I'm talking about.
But titties are nice too.
Yeah.
Why not both?
Hey, some of them do. That was pretty funny. So back to business. What is your opinion on companies merging to make like a partnership car? For example, like the new Toyota Supra and BMW, Toyota.
I'm like 50-50 on it. I get it. It's mostly a BMW, but Toyota has, they made it modifiable.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to do that if you bought just a standard BMW, I guess.
And I feel like parts might have been a little more like higher up on price.
It is, but the B58 is just a monster motor.
It fucking is.
It's, I think, you know, that versus a 2J or whatever the 2J would have been now, I think parts for a BMW are easier to find and cheaper than what a
yeah,
Rep 2J would be.
Yeah. Because think about just getting a 2JZ now, probably 10 grand, and that's a used one.
Yeah, for
and
instance.
then,
Jackson's car. Like,
the 300ZX?
yeah,
Yeah.
like the motor and everything was like, what, 4 or 5 grand by itself, and then he only drives automatics. So the really beefy, 5-speed from the automatic Supra was like another 5 to 6 grand. So
What the hell?
yeah, so,
That's
I don't
so
know,
like
that's-
10 grand. And then on top of that, you got to get, if you're
All
putting
that.
it in a different car that is not a Supra, you got to modify
Yeah.
your firewall. You got to get, dry shaft. You got to get wiring harness, computer. And some way, somehow, you got to figure out how to make everything inside work, like your cluster and shit like that. And guess you go with an Infinity and get like whatever digital screen shit that they sell.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it makes sense and it's gonna improve the culture, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah. So I mean, like for instance, I I love the new Supra. Mm-hmm. If you ever get the chance to drive one, or if you have driven one,
I've never even been in one.
dude, it's a game changer.
I'm gonna have to tell Corey to give me a freaking ride.
I don't like the MK4 Supra like at all.
Really?
It's a dog shit car. If I'm gonna be,
I mean, I've never driven one or ridden in one of those.
It's
either,
good
so.
for like drag racing. That's about
it.
It's useless at everything else. It's good for drag racing.
I mean, Rat Dan uses it for drifting. He's pretty good with it. I mean, only one guy though.
Yeah,
versus everybody else.
But you hardly ever see MK4s in circuit racing.
Now that you mention it,
they're heavy.
I don't think I've ever seen one.
They're heavy.
It's a heavy car. It's a big car.
And then, like, I'm a huge fan of like the GR86.
Yes.
It's a Subaru Toyota. Granted, Toyota owns stock in Subaru. Like, they own like 40% of Subaru. So it's,
do they really?
Yeah. So it makes sense. It would make sense. Like, that car just makes sense. I want one. Like, if I got rid of that, I'd probably buy a GR86. But I don't know, some cars make sense. Like, what was it? Honda and Chevy.
Don't tell me they made a car together.
Yes.
What the hell does it look like?
They are making a car, or they're in the process of making a car. I think it's an EV car. I don't know, but they're a merger for one or two cars. That doesn't make any sense. Like at all.
I'm shocked on that one, honestly.
It just sounds like.
You were saying that Honda and Chevy is making a car.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
That is just definitely freaking mind-blowing. That just blew my mind. I had no idea. I'm curious to know what that's going to look like.
I don't know. It's just weird.
So this is another, like, heavy topic is, like, do you think that exposing a shop that does bad work online is the right thing to do?
Yeah.
Yeah? Why?
You gotta have transparency. If you don't have transparency, they're gonna screw more and more people over. So nip that in the bud, like right then and there.
So
now,
like,
if it's something that was like very minimal,
mm-hmm.
and it was something that was an accident or just bad luck, then especially if they're not gonna own up to it.
Well, yeah, that was what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Like, let's say like you brought it up to them, like, hey man, you guys like really dropped the ball on this,
and they're really shitty, and they're like, we didn't do that, or it had issues when you brought it in.
Yeah,
that's fucked up.
Yeah,
but as a shop owner, you're liable for anything that happens while you're working on that car.
Right.
So if you fuck something up and you're scummy and you blame the owner or you blame someone else, then yeah, you should get
put on blast.
Yeah.
Or put on notice at least so people know.
So
because it's funny because for example, let's say that happens to you. As soon as you write something on a forum or a page, then more people is gonna like, oh nah, yeah, bro, I the same thing happened to me, or this happened to me, and then you know they start building that bad rep, like right off the rip. So I think it's a good thing, but at the same time, if you could solve it internally without putting it online,
yeah, then you should
definitely
do that. But if it's something that, like for instance, the T-Pain thing, you ever read about that?
No.
All right, so there was a shop in Atlanta that T-Pain, I guess, was building a drift car.
Yeah.
It was either a drift car or some other car, and the guy was like stealing parts and asking for more money and not getting anything done. But he was out like driving his car and doing all this crazy shit.
Like driving T-Pain's car?
Yeah.
What? I need to pay more attention to the news and the gossip.
I mean, this was like a year or two ago, but like.
Is that how he ended up at RTR, having them build him a car and stuff like that?
I think so.
Really? That's great.
I mean, T-Pain's a good drifter. So when I was at Road Atlanta for Grid Life, like the first or second Grid Life ever, he was down there and he brought his drift car.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty freaking cool.
But I mean, he
you should have went up. T-Pain, can I take a picture?
He legit drifts.
Be like, yo, give me a ride.
Dude, so he was funny. He showed up, like, they're having the concert and stuff at night. He was performing that night. Mm-hmm. This motherfucker shows up, like, skirts into the pit area in a golf cart. And then goes on stage. It's like, jumps out
and goes. That's funny. That's another event I would love to, like, experience Grid Life and the other ones.
Did you? You didn't come.
I didn't get to go. Well, I went to. What is it that they held at CMP? Was it the same thing? It wasn't Great Life. That was something else.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Like TJ Hunt and all those people like came out like
yes, that was
Instagram.
That was Great Life.
That was Great Life?
Yeah.
Because it was the first one, so I don't think it was as big, and it was raining.
Yeah.
Next time we go to that one, I'll try to have a car that I
think they're gonna come back.
Either drift or try to do like track shit. I think it'll be fun.
So, what I want to do is, I was a little skeptical about it, but they do.
Well, they sent both out, right?
Yeah, they sent drifters out and they sent road racers out at the same time.
I think that would be kind of cool for me because I would love to get footage just running up behind somebody and just have the camera recording.
Me, I wouldn't want to be stuck between two drifters, like a drifter in front of me and a drifter behind me.
I think that would be kind of annoying.
Especially, you have the slow guy here just doing his thing, but you've got like a really high horsepower drifter behind me.
Coming in full speed.
Yeah, and you're just, well, fuck me, I'm just stuck in the middle.
You're like, I'm sorry, dude, this guy's just going to, like, he doesn't let me by.
I think that would be cool. So I want to do that.
Yeah.
If they come back, I want to do that next year.
Yep. So, will you let a show like Pimp My Ride build your car?
No. Because I would not get all the stuff that they actually put on there.
You don't want a TV or a fish tank inside your Civic while you're driving?
Maybe some wheatgrass. A little nice golf thing.
Be like, oh, I gotta take this turn, but hold on, let me hit this 9 real quick.
Replace all the carpet with wheatgrass.
Oh my God.
I gotta take my shoes off. Gotta feel the grass between my toes.
That fucking show was something else.
You know, like when they build those cars, they took a lot of that stuff out.
No way, really?
Yeah.
This was just a funny question that I thought of, but I had no idea. That's crazy. So they
put all the stuff in there for TV, and then they
took it off before they get the car back.
Yeah, I mean they still gave you some sort of modified car, but a lot of the crazy shit, like let's put a TV under the car.
Like why?
So ants could look at it. I don't know.
Let's put a TV in the engine bay.
Yeah.
So you can watch TV while you're driving. So there's a lot of talk about electric cars versus fossil fuel. Where do you think the car scene is headed?
I don't know. I'm not a fan of EVs.
No?
We have them at work, and they suck. The mileage is not that great on them.
So when you say EV, this is just fully
electric.
Okay.
I'm down with hybrids.
I like the hybrids. Hybrid stuff is cool, especially on the hypercars.
And it makes sense. A hybrid makes sense because you have gas for further drives, and you have an electric motor to get around city. Town. Yeah, it makes sense. Hybrids make sense. EVs don't make sense. We don't have the infrastructure for EVs.
No,
and we're not going to have it for
a long period, for a long
probably
time.
Another 30-something years.
Yeah.
It's just not there.
It's just like when they started with gasoline back in the day. It wasn't around, and then it became a thing.
Now, if you could make I like the idea of a hydrogen car. I think that's pretty cool. It's kind of nifty. But then, do you know how you make hydrogen?
No, I have no idea.
Okay.
School me.
Take
me to
It's electrolysis, so it turns water into electricity.
Oh, okay.
So the byproduct of a hydrogen car is water out of the tailpipe. You could drink the water from the tailpipe, essentially. But
so you're filtering the water, so forget your water bill.
Yeah. So, there's a process that turns the hydrogen into, it takes the electrons out of the hydrogen, and the byproduct is water. Any of you engineers out there are going to shit on me and tell me I'm wrong. I'm kind of 50-50. I think I know what I'm talking about, but I'm not 100% sure. I just know the process to do that large scale doesn't make sense right now. But small scale, I guess it could. I don't know. I think
that would be definitely interesting.
Yeah.
I'm curious. We probably won't be around for it, but I'm curious to know what 100 years from now, what people are gonna be using for source of fuel versus what we are now.
Nuclear. You ever see that thing? It's not real, but it's like a mega plane.
No.
It's like a cruise ship, but it's a plane and it runs off of nuclear energy.
Uh-uh.
They were like, yeah, this plane could fly for 10 years without refueling.
Bullshit. Okay, talking about the Avengers, their hovercraft.
Stuff like that. I don't know. I think electric cars are the future, just not right now. It is what it is.
Yeah, I agree. In due time, they will get here, though. Well,
Hopefully by that time I can't drive anymore.
just be like, something
Imagine
flying by, you're
flying.
like, what the fuck?
My dad's funny. He was like, God, they told us we would have flying cars by now. I was like, that's a horrible idea. These motherfuckers can't drive regular cars.
Drive. You think they're going to be able to fly? Especially with all the drunk and driving. Imagine drunk and flying. He's going to end up in somebody's bedroom on the second floor. Oh, man. Well, we're getting to the end, so I want to thank you for coming on and having this conversation.
Yeah.
I hope you had a good time because there was a lot of laughs.
A lot of stupid stuff, man. I enjoy it.
Thank you for coming on. So where can everybody find you and follow you?
Boy, okay. I'm thinking about changing my Instagram name.
Are you?
For right now, it's at CLT_FB6.
And then what's your photography page also? Are you still posting on there? I haven't seen you post in a while.
Not really. Because I don't get anything from it.
Really?
Instagram's weird, right?
It's all about reels now.
Yeah, you stop posting for a long time and it's like, screw you.
See you later.
And I'm not really gaining anything from it. So I'll post my photo stuff through the CLT page.
CLT. And then he also has a YouTube channel, by the way, which everything that he's mentioning, I'm gonna put on the description below, and his Instagram and YouTube channel name is gonna be right here, right under this GTRs. So
Yeah,
you guys could give him a follow.
Let me just.
Let's find out what your
Oh well, it's
Your
not
YouTube.
working. It's not working. But oh, okay, okay, something's else.
Now you
It's
know.
B-RY Meyers MEYERS. Just type that in. It'll come up.
He
Maybe.
does a lot of track racing and stuff like that with the Honda, so you guys will get to enjoy some track and modifying the Honda
Oh,
also.
did you want to talk about the wing?
I want to go look at the wing.
I got a new wing, guys.
Yeah, he got a new wing. This is a cool wing.
I had an old wing. This is a bigger wing.
Yeah.
Now it is. I'm super.
It might make him fly. Actually, no, it might make
it's
you.
reverse.
Yeah, it's reverse. It might make you hit the ground hard.
Dude, I noticed it right away. So
Did you really with the?
I put it on, and I think the AOA right now is at 5 or 6%.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a huge difference.
And so I was going home from work, and I was doing 90, maybe 90, and I could feel the rear end just.
Do your tires make the noise with the? With
No,
the roller?
but I could feel it.
You can feel it. When I put it on the Supercharged 350Z, when I put the wing, it was just all tire noise. Like if I was driving a fucking Jeep the whole time, and
Yeah.
I'm like, golly, this is
Yeah,
annoying.
I felt it, and I was like, I need to change this. It's fun.
But yeah, all his information is gonna be in the description below, and his YouTube and Instagram, like I said, is gonna be right here. I just want to thank everybody for watching. Let's find out what's your drive, and please give us a like and comment and share with your friends and family. Until the next one. Peace.